All right, I need to move on to the other one, which I actually finished in December. So if I make mistakes, misremembering things, you can't be mad at me. But this book is a title called Snow Crash by an author named Neal Stephenson. And so I've been familiar with this author for a long time. He's sort of an innovator early on of like the sort of steampunk, cyberpunk, science fiction genre, which is my understanding. But anything that I expected out of this book in regards to what I knew about cyberpunk, steampunk, this book pretty much magnified it by about 1,000%. It's really hard to get wrap your head around this book and start to talk about it. Even in the back of the book, what he describes it as is like something that only happens in the very first chapter and then kind of gets lost in the remaining 450 pages of this book. So I think I actually even read the back of this like when I was reading this 6 months ago. But this is what it says. It says, in the near future, Americans excel at only two things: writing software and delivering pizzas in less than 30 minutes, which is a part of this book for literally the first chapter. Like the first scene is this main character trying to deliver a pizza on time, and then he fails, and then we literally do not see him delivering pizza ever again for the remaining like 400 pages. It's not really that big of a deal, except that that's how they're marketing it, which is kind of wild. I don't want to talk about a bunch of criticisms for this book because I did really enjoy it, but I think I watched a lot of videos of people talking about this book. And aside from it being present tense and that being daunting for some people, I think a lot of people are in agreement that there's a lot of crazy ideas in this book. And some of them go places and some of them do not. Like there will be chapters where the main character is like talking to an AI librarian about like theology. And it'll go on for like pages and pages. It's like, why is this happening in the book? I'm just going to at first do my best to describe the plot itself, which maybe will make things a little more clearly explaining why it's a difficult book and why it's also some people are fascinated with it. So a lot of the confusion with this book, I think, kind of comes down to how it takes place in two different worlds. And one world is like a computer, alternate reality, whatever you call it. This isn't really my world, no pun intended. But yeah, I think they're just called alternate realities, like within a computer, like where you wear like a headset or whatever. So that's part of the story. And then there's also the real world, which coincidentally is like the cyberpunk world that's happening in the future, where everything is also very technologically abstract and odd. For example, the high-speed pizza delivery trucks take place in the real world. And so there's like kind of a confusion there where both the reality and the alternate reality are places that readers are very unfamiliar with. And I think since there's both those things, and you have to come to an understanding of two different kind of quote-unquote realities, it becomes very confusing. So I guess depending on what type of reader you are, if you're a person who enjoys sci-fi and fantasy where the world is immersive but also cryptic, this Snow Crash book is sort of a 2-for-1 in that experience, where you have a cyberpunk world and then there are hackers in that world that create a separate world, and both of those worlds are very dense and vivid, but also very like you have to put effort into understanding them, which a lot of readers would really love that. Other readers, especially readers who have the slightest problem with present tense writing, might not really want to put the time into decoding this sort of book that has so much layers and so much abstraction in it. It did take me quite a while to get through this one, although it is one of the longest books I've read in a while anyway, almost at 500 pages. It did take me probably a few breaks to get through the whole thing. But I will say, if I'm going to recommend it, I would recommend it to people who enjoy language and people who enjoy kind of immersive worlds that are not necessarily clear. But the one thing that is very inspiring, and I'm definitely going to read some more of Neal Stephenson's work, is that I get the sense from this novel that he creatively did exactly what he wanted to do. And he is a person who comes up with very vivid ideas and imaginations. And it's just proof, despite the fact that it was published more than 30 years ago, it's just proof that there is a way to publish exactly what you want to publish. And you can still find your readership. People will be interested in it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be muted down just so that you are worried that like people might not want to put the work in. So if anything, this book is a testament to that. It's not the only one, but I think it's definitely like a cool thing to think that this book was written as so strange, and yet you can find it like at a bookstore in your city. And that's like kind of cool for artists to think about, like being able to do whatever your vision is.